All right, welcome everyone. Buckle up, hold on to your seats, and get ready for a totally high-octane breakdown like you've literally never seen before. Today we're exploring the wildly unpredictable, completely gravity-defying world of 3D animal slide races. In this explainer, we're taking a magnifying glass to the sheer joy, the heart-stopping panic, and of course, the glorious victories of sending massive animals barreling down an impossibly long slide. I mean, it's fast, it's hilarious, and it is a total emotional roller coaster from top to bottom. Plus, we're going to see how different animals get totally different, wild reactions from the players driving them.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Lights, camera, action. Go, go, go. You know, this isn't just a game. It's a blockbuster movie event happening in real time. That frantic, movie set energy of the game's starting call immediately sets the tone. You aren't just a player here. Nope. You are a director commanding an epic stunt. The adrenaline is pumping before the animal even moves a single inch. So, to truly master this wild sport, we need to map out the emotional hero's journey that our animal racers actually go through. Every single race follows this incredible four-part cycle. First up, you have on your mark, where the anticipation builds, then the drop, where gravity just takes over and the speed is blinding. Next comes the panic. 'Cause let's be real, keeping a hippopotamus on a twisting 3D slide is not exactly easy. And finally, if you survive all that chaos, you reach phase 4, winner. Let's look at exactly how this cycle kicks off. Phase 1, the starting line hype, and gearing up for the drop. Which brings us right to the starting line. And man, the hype here is absolutely massive. Gearing up for the drop is all about heart-pounding anticipation. The announcer kicks things off with the ultimate classic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the show is about to begin. It sets the stage so perfectly. Then we get the traditional on your mark, get set, go. But then, out of nowhere, we get fight camera action. Wait, not lights, fight. It's such a funny, aggressive little twist on a movie set command that tells you exactly what kind of chaotic battle against the slide you're about to endure. But honestly, here is the absolute greatest part of the starting line. After all that massive, booming buildup, all the fight camera action and grand announcements, how does the player actually respond? With a super casual, totally nonchalant, okie dokie. It is just brilliant. The track is terrifying, the announcer is screaming, and the player choosing the tiger always seems to just casually yell, okie dokie, let's toss this giant tiger down a tube. It is the perfect comedic counterpunch to all that intense buildup. Phase 2, the thrill of the drop, and zooming down the slide. And with that okie dokie, we are off, transitioning right into the high-speed action of the race. Yee-haw! You can literally feel the hype of the gravity drop. The velocity is just unbelievable, and the reactions match it perfectly. As the animals launch over the edge, the explosive exclamations just pour out. You've got the yee-haw, the yahoo, the woohoo. These aren't just words, guys. They are the sounds of pure, unadulterated speed. When players pick the elephant and catch some serious airtime, a massive yeehaw is always the biggest and best reaction. But hey, it's not all just screaming on the way down. There are actual tactics and key player movements involved here. Let's break down the racer's mindset into a quick step-by-step guide. First, you gotta pump up the momentum. Let's go, let's go. Second, you actively encourage your chosen animal, like, come on, boy, as if you're a jockey riding a horse. And third, and this is a seriously vital player movement tactic, when the track gets treacherous, you have to keep it steady. You hear the player constantly chanting, easy, easy, as they literally try to physically balance a speeding gorilla on a hairpin turn. But just watch what happens when the speed gets a little bit out of control. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, you can literally hear the escalating panic and excitement right there in the repetition. The animal has picked up totally unstoppable momentum, the track is just vanishing beneath them, and all the player can do is hang on for dear life. It's exactly the sound of a roller coaster cresting the top of the biggest hill. Phase 3, danger on the slide and trouble on the tracks. Of course, it can't be a smooth ride forever, because when you're rocketing down a giant tube with a farm animal, trouble on the tracks is guaranteed to hit mid-race. Oh no, the sudden drop in tone? You felt that right? That is the terrifying suspense when the race takes a sudden, really terrifying turn. Let's compare the absolute emotional whiplash of this game. On side A, everything is perfect. The player is shouting, I love it, and fantastic, as they breeze down the track. But then, side B hits. An animal slips, or maybe falls entirely off the edge, and the joy instantly vanishes into panic-induced shouts of help me and where are you? It is pure comedy watching this sheer panic set in when their pixelated racer suddenly goes missing in action. Let's rapidly break down these mid-race panic attacks, because they're basically serious strategic obstacles. First, the realization, uh-oh. Then, the total confusion of 3D game physics. What happened? Next is definitely my personal favorite, the defensive shout of, go away, which always seems to happen when someone's red panda bumps into a random obstacle on the track. And finally, the complete refusal to accept defeat. Nope. Just nope. It is such a hilarious glimpse into the frantic mind of a player desperately trying to save their run.
And sometimes, well, the game just completely breaks your brain. Wow, oh my god. This captures the absolute surprise and shock of the game's totally wild physics. Maybe the cow just did a triple backflip over a gap, or the hippo just bounced off a wall at 100 miles an hour. These unexpected, crazy collisions are exactly what make these 3D slide races so unbelievably addictive and fun to watch.
Phase 4, the taste of victory and crossing the finish line. If you can survive the panic, and if you can navigate the wild physics, you finally reach the ultimate destination. The chaotic emotional roller coaster slows down, and we get to shift our tone right back to explosive joy. So, how do we seal the deal? Here is your fun, step-by-step winning formula, based entirely on our frantic in-game exclamations. Step 1, stay on the track. Keep chanting, easy, easy, so you don't fly off the last turn. Step 2, push ahead to the very end. Scream, come on, boy, to get every last ounce of speed. And step 3, the moment you cross the line, celebrate. A massive yay is absolutely mandatory here.
Now, sure, we have the standard celebrations, winner and hooray. That totally makes sense. But wait, yummy? Delicious? I mean, what is actually happening here? Are we racing a 3D tiger or eating a birthday cake? These uniquely weird food-based victory celebrations are completely out of left field and just absolutely hilarious. It really proves that when you win a wild slide race, logic completely goes out the window. And finally, the most surprising reaction of all when crossing the finish line, I love you, baby. This just proves how deeply invested players get in the race. After guiding that 3D gorilla through the treacherous twists, massive drops, and mid-air panics, you don't just win a game, you build a bond. It's a surprisingly affectionate and hilarious reaction to a digital animal surviving a giant slide. So we've seen the starting line hype, we felt the thrill of the massive drop, we survived the wild mid-race panic, and we definitely tasted the delicious, yummy victory. The only question left to ask is, are you ready to take the drop? Which animal will you choose for your next wild ride down the track? A giant elephant? A speedy tiger? Grab your controller, brace yourself for the speed, and get ready to yell, yeehaw! Thanks for joining me on this wild explainer, and I will see you at the starting line next time.